Well, today is Sunday, the fourth Sunday of Advent. You see, we've added another candle back here. So there's the 4 Sundays. And we're reading from Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. We are reading about the visit of the Magi, the wise men. And so let us begin reading. Now, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east and have come to worship him. When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And gathering together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They said to him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for this is what has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the leaders of Judah, for from you will come forth a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. Then Herod secretly called for the Magi and determined from them the exact time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search carefully for the child, and when you have found him, report to me so that I too may come and worship him. After hearing the king, they went on their way, and behold, the star which they had seen in the east went on ahead of them until it came to a stop over the place where the child was to be found. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And after they came into the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented to him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And after being warned by God in a dream not to return to Herod, the Magi left for their own country by another way. And so we have these wise men, and the wise men also were men who studied the sky and the stars, and they studied prophecies and studied everything that there was available to know in that day. It's very likely they came from Babylon. And you remember that Daniel was in Babylon, and he made some prophecies, and they had studied others. And so they knew that this was the star that was prophesied to come, and that it indicated a ruler had been born in Israel. So naturally, they went to Jerusalem, the capital city, and there was this King Herod. Now, why was he troubled when they heard they're asking, like they know there's a king to be born, and Herod's king? So he's troubled. He doesn't want anybody taking over his throne. So anyway, they find out it's Bethlehem. And then he lies and says, Oh, I want to worship him too. So as soon as you find out, you come let me know, okay? Well, anyway, so God circumvented that and sent the wise men on a safe route back home. So how many wise men were there? It doesn't make a whole lot of difference, I guess. But We Three Kings has a nice sound to it. And because there's three gifts, the songwriters, they figured 3 is a good number. And there may have been more, and there's more than likely that there were more. I heard a preacher the other day saying that they traveled perhaps about 800 miles with camels, and that's probably a whole entourage. So when they entered Jerusalem, it was quite a deal. A lot of camels, you got supplies, you're probably carrying tent goods and food and these gifts, of course. And So I like this part of the Christmas story. I enjoy that part. It's he doesn't, they don't show up, at the stable. They're in a house now. So they no doubt settled down in Bethlehem, and this is where the wise men found them, and they entered into the house and laid their gifts before the child Jesus. He's probably a toddler running around at this point, and they paid their homage, knelt down before the king, probably not realizing what kind of a king he was. In other words, that he was king of all kings and lord of all lords. But they had an idea of his importance, and they came to worship him. And so, the saying, wise men still seek him. And so we can count ourselves among the wise. God bless you.